Welcome back to Opinion Journal Live. I'm now joined by Bill McGurn, who's coming along to talk to James and me about the political fallout from this, specifically how it affects the Romney campaign. I personally think, as bad as the decision was, that Romney has been given an opportunity here that he wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, Governor Romney has to make this front and center of his campaign because it's not just about health care. It's about the delineation of powers, whether we have a European type system that's going to expand taxing authority to cover inactivity for a social welfare program, or whether we have a more American view of people looking out for themselves. And I think that fits very well. I think he did a good job. His first message was, if you want to get rid of Obamacare, you have to get rid of Obama. And as you said, this decision helps him a little bit, and that a lot of people that don't like him, they might have said, well, the Supreme Court took away Obamacare. Now, if you really want it gone, you got to vote for Romney.
Do you think he's going to step up to it, James?
Let's hope so.
I mean, he hasn't talked about health care before.
Yeah, he had trouble with this, obviously, during the primaries. And given his history in Massachusetts, creating kind of the prototype, he was never really at ease making this case. Let's hope he's used the ensuing months in part to prepare for this moment. He may not have wanted health care to be at the center of the campaign, but there it is, and he can't avoid it.
Well, what's really at the center of this issue is the mandate. That was the most unpopular part of the health care law. I have always thought that Mitt Romney should simply separate himself from the mandate, both this one and the one in Massachusetts. It was a mistake. Right. The American people don't want it.
Right. He could easily say, which he hasn't, the states are made for experiments. He's kind of said that the states could do this. We tried something. The Democrats made it a little different from what I want. And President Obama took the exact wrong lessons, took the worst aspects, and blew it up into this this big bill. I think also for the Republicans, not just for Romney, there would have been a tendency to be lazy and sort of just say, okay, the court got rid of it. We don't have to do it. I think this is calling for all of them to step up, because it's not just the president. We need a Senate and a House that are going to take this issue on squarely and go to the American people with their ideas for an alternative, and not just an alternative bill, but alternative philosophy.
James, obviously the conservative base is energized, angry about this. Do you think it's going to last for 4 months? Well,
it's a good question. You also have the question of is turnout going to be materially affected? Because I would say the conservative base was already pretty motivated to get rid of Barack Obama. So, maybe at the margin there is a little more. I would expect where you'd see maybe a little more immediate impact is on the fundraising, because this does say to particularly anyone who's in a business, any line of work remotely connected to healthcare, that it's now coming unless the change happens in November. So I think there is going to be, I would expect for both Mr. Romney and the super PACs, a pretty good month of fundraising.
And further your point, Dan, I think that Governor Romney not only has to engage it, he has to be the aggressor. He can't respond to President Obama's. He has to go and put this front and center and be the aggressor. President Obama has a lot of problems. He still can't call it a tax. They're not calling it a tax, and that's fundamentally the problem with this thing.
A middle-class tax.
Right. It was passed as something that it isn't. So I think he not only has to engage it, but he has to be the aggressor on that and put President Obama on the defensive.
Yeah, and by calling it a middle-class tax, as for instance, in the debates, he will force President Obama to answer and explain why it isn't, after the Supreme Court has said conclusively that it is.
Right. Good luck.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.